Hi, my name is Cami and this is Classics and Cats. So today I would like to do a fun little tag video. This is the book habits tag and I saw it on Noelle Gallagher's channel. I absolutely adore her. I loved watching her video. I'll link it down below so you can go watch her video if you haven't already. She's amazing. It's funny listening to her answer these questions because they're the total opposite of me, but I love the way she views books. I love the way she lives a life in her books. And just, you'll understand what I'm saying if you go and watch her video, but she really leaves a mark on her books, and her books live a life on their own. And I just really loved watching her describe her bookish habits, and I just thought it would be fun for me to do this tag as well. So without further ado, let's answer some book habits questions. So the first question is, do you have a certain place that you read at home? So, not really. Wherever I am. So if I'm eating breakfast and I just have a few minutes before I've got to leave for work, and I think that I can get a few pages in, I will read at the breakfast table. If I get home from work and I'm by myself and it's a relaxing evening, I'll sit on the sofa or on my bed. I will basically read anywhere. And whenever I'm in a book, especially if I'm really into a book, I will take it with me everywhere I go. Even if I'm only going to be gone for a little while, even if I plan to be busy the whole time I'm gone, I will take my book with me, because in my head I'm like, you just never know. You don't know if the car's going to break down. You don't know if you're going to have to wait. So I want to have my book ready to go. So I usually carry my books with me everywhere, especially if I'm really into the story and I just want to get in every moment that I can. So yes, I do, or I guess no, I do not have a certain place I read. I'll read wherever I can. So that's that answer. Next question is bookmark or random piece of paper. So I'm going to expand this to say random piece of anything, because I don't just limit bookmarks to paper. In a perfect world, I would love to have a bookmark ready to go for every book that I read, but I don't. So what will happen is, especially if I start a book and I don't have a bookmark around, or I haven't grabbed one that's ready to go, so I'm reading this book and I need to end where I'm reading, so I just look around, what could work? Bobby pins, hair like elastics, receipts, pieces of paper, paper clips, anything that will fit in a book without ruining it and hold my page, I will do. In Noelle's video, she said she dog ears, which again, I think is beautiful. Like I said, I love the way she leaves a mark on her books. I wish I could be more like that. I wish I could be carefree. I feel like protective of my books. They must stay in pristine condition. And so I'm very careful with them, which you would think means that I always use a bookmark, but I guess I don't go that far. So yes, I will use whatever is nearby so that I hold my page. So anything goes. Okay, question 3. Can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? I do not just stop reading. Like, I cannot stop just mid-sentence. I will have to finish a section, like a paragraph break. So, you know, whatever is happening, that I probably, you know, the house catches on fire, I'll probably keep reading until it's like, just hang on, you know, like, lower the smoke level for a minute. I gotta finish this paragraph. Then I'll find a random item to hold my book place, and then I will get out safely. So yeah, I mean, I can't just stop like in the middle of a sentence or dialogue or something. I will want to get to a good page break. If I am not in a hurry, like I don't have to leave, but I'm just looking for a place to end, I usually try to make it to the end of the chapter. Like at the end of the night, I'll flip through and it's like, oh, I should probably go to bed, but there's only 3 pages left in this chapter. So then I'll try to get to the end of the chapter. So yeah, I can't just stop in the middle. Gotta get to a clean break, you know? So that's that answer. Number 4, do you eat or drink while reading? Yes, I must survive. And now, that being said, like I mentioned before, I really want to protect my books. I don't want them to get smudged. I don't want them to get dirty. I don't want anything spilled on them. So, but I also really want to eat and I really want to drink. So I'll be very careful. I usually get very disappointed if I get like, usually chocolate, like a little chocolate smudge fingerprint on my pages. It's very disheartening. It makes me feel icky and terrible. But I mean, I gotta live, and I gotta make time for my reading. So usually, like I said, I will do both. I will try to be careful. I'm not just like, wiping Cheeto prints off on my book or anything. But yeah, I try to be careful. But a girl's gotta eat. All right, the next one is music or TV while reading. So that depends. If there's other people around and, I want to be with them and they're watching something on TV or listening to music or talking, I'm pretty good at tuning things out while I'm reading. I get in my own little world and I'm pretty good. Now, that being said, if like my favorite movie is on, a favorite movie is on, that might be a little distracting. But I feel like I can get in and out of my books pretty easily. So, if I look up and, listen to the conversation and then go back to my book, I can go back and forth pretty quickly. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me. But if I have my choice, I'm going to sit in a quiet room. If I'm alone, I definitely don't have the TV on. I don't have music on. Most likely, if I do, it's down very, very low. So it's just kind of white noise in the background. But other than that, I don't purposely turn on the TV and read or purposely listen to music while I read. That's just, I want to be immersed in the world as much as I can. And like I said, if that means I've got to tune out what's going on around me so that I can be with the people I love, then I'll do that. But if I'm by myself, it's just me and the book and my cat. Okay, the next question is one book at a time or several books at once? It depends. Most of the time I think I try to read one book at a time, especially if I love that book. Then whenever I have a chance to read, I'm always going to go back to that book. I'm not going to pick up one that I'm just kind of meh about, So if I'm really into a book, I'm probably focusing on that book. I'm going to get through it. I want to see it all. But and it also depends, like if I'm reading a book with someone else and I'm trying to stay at the same pace they are, then I do have to have a backup book so that I can pick it up whenever I want if I have one that's kind of sitting that has to wait. So in that case, I definitely always have a couple books. I can't read like 6 books at a time though. I want just like 1 or 2. I don't like to be in the middle of a lot of books. With the exception of, I could probably add one more in if it's nonfiction. If I'm reading like a self-help book that I just kind of pick up and go back to whenever, I can have that in the mix too. So 3 books would be max, 2 fiction, 1 nonfiction. That's it. That's my limit. But even then, like I said, if I'm really into a book, I just want to devour that one book and get that whole story in at once. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Next question, reading at home or everywhere? So I kind of already answered this. I read everywhere. If I'm in a book, I take it with me everywhere. So any tiny little slice of time that I can have a little bit more of that book, I'm going to want to have that book with me. So yeah, I read everywhere. Reading out loud or silently in your head? I definitely read silently in my head. I don't think I've ever tried to read out loud. The only time I would ever do that is I have gotten to a dialogue that has like a really thick accent in it. And, if I get to a part where I'm like, I don't fully understand that. This would be so embarrassing if someone caught me doing this. But I will try to read that dialogue or that section, with that accent. Like if I know it's a very heavy Scottish accent or something, I'll try to read it that way because then it's like, okay, I see what they're saying and I understand it or I feel it more. So with the exception of that, I'll read that out. Or if I come across a beautiful quote or passage that I just love, that I want to hear out loud, I will read that out loud to myself. Other than that, though, everything happens in my head. I see it in my head, I hear it in my head, I feel it, so yeah, reading silently in my head the majority of the time with those small exceptions. Next one, do you read ahead or skip pages? What kind of question is that? Skip pages? No. I do not skip ahead. I don't even, if I want to know like how many pages is in the book total, I will like carefully peel back the book to like look at just the page number. I don't even want to see a word on the last page. I don't want anything that could possibly spoil the ending for me or spoil any of the part of the book. No, no, no. No, 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 no. So, yeah, I don't read ahead at all. Never, ever. I think I heard somebody say that they always read the ending first. And maybe it was a movie and they were just kidding, I hope. They said they read the ending first, and if they didn't like it, then they wouldn't read the book. And I was just like, what? No. I don't like surprises ruined in any situation in my life. So I don't want the ending of a book spoiled. No, I don't skip ahead. Now, the only time I've ever skipped like a passage, don't come for me, okay? I hope this isn't like an unpopular opinion. But when I was reading Lord of the Rings, all the songs that are in that book, like I would read through them like looking for hidden meanings, you know, in the first like several chapters. And after a while I was like, I think these are just folk songs. Like they're not part of they're not like adding something to the story. There's no hidden meaning in it that I'm going to need to know later in the story. So it was like, yeah, okay, you know, I would kind of skim. Is that bad? I don't know. That's the only time I can think that I've ever skimmed ahead. I wouldn't even say I skipped it. I still kind of read through it, but I wasn't like fully engaged in it. So I'm sorry. Yeah, but that's the only time I can think of. I definitely do not skip pages. No. Okay, 2 questions left. Do you break the spine or keep it like new? I think I've already said I feel protective of my books. So I want them almost to be in like new condition at all times, which might be crazy, I don't know, but that's just how I am with my books. I just really like to preserve them. And breaking a spine would probably break my heart. So when I read a book, let me see. Like if it's, you know, if I don't want to break the spine, I will have it open in an L shape to preserve the binding. So I will read this way and then I will flip this way. I will not try to open this poor baby wide and hurt her. We've got to take care of them. We have to preserve them. I'm just kidding. We don't have to. I have to, though. Whoops. Yeah, so that's just me. Can't break the spine. I mean, if it happens, it happens. You know, if it's unintentional and the spine breaks, I won't cry. I won't throw the book away. You know, but my goal is not to. That's all. Last question. Do you write in your books? You can guess the answer to this. Heck, no. No, I don't write in my books. Part of me feels like I would like to do that, but again, I couldn't do it. There's no way. I would really like to get like a stamp that says like from the library of, and then I write my name in it and put that like in the front cover of my books. But I can't even bring myself to do that. Like I really want to build up the courage and really have like all of my books marked that they were my book. And then like if I pass them down, then they will see like, oh, this was my great grandmother's book. See, she's got her little stamp in here. I just think that would be so sweet. So I have to get over that. That's a hurdle that I'm gonna have to overcome. I gotta put a mark in a book somehow. And I think that for me is the most acceptable way I can think of. So let me know what you think about this, how you feel about books, how you feel about, or how you treat your books. Like I said, go and watch Noelle Gallagher's video. I just love the way that she thinks about her books, the way she feels about her books. It's beautiful. You'll see what I mean when you watch the video if you haven't already. So yeah, without further ado, that's my book habits tag. So if you haven't done this tag, go ahead and post a video or comment down below the answers to the questions for your reading experiences. So I hope I see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.